Guys, it's me, Jack Armstrong the third, and I'm sitting out here on our patio with my daughter Serenity. And today we're going to do some cool things. Serenity's going to start painting her first figure, which is going to be a Union soldier from the American Civil War. After I mow the grass, of course. And we're going to see what all we get done before we go to this awesome music party that we were invited to. And I'm going to answer a few questions that people have private messaged me or PM me about my music and about modeling. And no, I still don't know how to private message you on YouTube. So if somebody wants to, like, make, send me a message and tell me exactly how to do it, I'd be forever grateful. Uh, you know my name. You know that I play music. When did I start playing music? I started playing guitar when I was 15. In my bedroom, of course, playing along with my favorite records. I did take about 3 guitar lessons where I learned how to read the G clef or the treble clef, which the guitar is based on. Didn't like it at all. I was still stuck in baseball mode and didn't like the lessons. It just wasn't what I wanted to learn. But I retained the knowledge of reading the basic G clef. And then as high school started, some people middle school, whatever, I was 14, about to turn 15. It was the summer. My birthday's in August. And it was the summer uh, between 10th and 11th grade where I got really serious about playing guitar. I decided I wasn't going to play baseball anymore. And pulled the guitar out and just had some friends show me, some basic power chords and whatnot. My parents bought me some books of my favorite band on how to play that had the guitar parts in them. And then I sat with my record player and started playing along. And I was hired into my first band was called Chaser. It was buddies of mine from high school, my dear friends Sammy, Todd, and Dustin. Uh, and we continued to play together as a band called Chaser. We did concerts at our high school. We did one high school dance. Um, we did a couple, well, more than a couple. We did some shows out in the public at a local skating rink and a few bars. We were only 16, 17 years old when we were doing that. And then Sammy went away to the Army um, for basic training for the Pennsylvania National Guard, and Todd moved to New Jersey to pursue his music career. He's now in Delaware, still performing full time as I am. Uh, Dustin opened the local music store. But when Sammy came back from basic training for the PANG, Pennsylvania Army National Guard, he got us hired into this band called Witherspoon, which was a very popular band in the area at the time. I was still 17. So was Sammy. And we started performing with this band like every weekend, and then it started to be 3-4 times a week in the weekends and whatnot. And it was a lot of fun. Eventually, I left that band to form my own band, which was a trio. Taught me a lot about playing guitar, and it went on, and here we are today, 45, still playing. As far as music goes, I love to perform rockabilly, blues, southern rock, anything that's guitar rock oriented. That's pretty much it. As far as the music biz, I stay busy as I can. And modeling. When did I start modeling? Scale modeling. Not good enough looking to be a model. Anyway, I started modeling when I was just a boy. My first model, of course, as many of you in the United States, was a 57 Chevy that I built with my dad. And then it got to be, everything had to be like 55, 56 and 57 Chevys, and then my mom got me, started buying me Corvette kits. And then I was always the first, since I was old enough to read, I read military history. I was an avid reader as a young boy, military history. In the local hobby shop, which doesn't exist anymore, we went in there and looked around, and we found like a tank and some Tamiya, or Tamiya as I call it, 135th scale soldiers. And I did that through junior high, up till the time I started playing guitar. And then occasionally I'd dabble with it here and there when I got bored with airplanes and soldiers and tanks, but it was never really, for a kid, I guess I was average, or maybe better than average, at model building. But then I kind of strayed away from it because I got real busy with music. And then, of course, I was playing music full time, and I worked full time at a steel mill, which is in our local community here. And I joined the United States Navy Reserve and became a Seabee. So between all that, I didn't have much time to do any modeling or painting of any sort. And then, like many of you, I injured my back, and I needed something to do other than sit there and be depressed. So my family started buying me quality resin soldier kits and white metal soldier kits. And I did it. I was probably, I was 26 or 27 when I really injured my back. I was actually injured before I went into the Navy, and I did my boot camp with a herniated disc and all that. And then after but that, that got my mind off of pain, and I had been reading constantly books by Shep Payne. I know you've all heard of him. There was no YouTube at the time. There was no internet. The internet was just new here. I didn't have internet then. Then, I had a little baby girl, became a daddy, and continued to dabble here and there with painting. And then I put it all away for, because music got real busy again. And I became disabled after my, my final deployment. So I am a disabled vet. And about a year ago, maybe 2 years, year and a half ago, a friend of mine took me to a hobby shop, and because she was, concerned about me being depressed and the pain that I was in, and she knew that I had painted when I was younger, and she liked my miniatures, so she took me to a hobby shop and bought me some paints, some Vallejo paints, and I have this huge collection of figure kits. As I keep telling you, my stash isn't completely unpacked yet, but that got me back into it. And I painted about a week, and I had totally lost all the skill. And it's definitely not like riding a bike. Everything had changed as far as like what paints were available. And then I discovered all you guys on YouTube, and that inspired me to get started again seriously. So I've been back into it now, seriously painting when I have the time, for about 8 months, and gradually gaining my skills back and improving my skills with the great videos that you guys that I follow, all 151 of you, as I mentioned before. So that's my story. That's who I am. Other than that, I try to be a good son to my mom and dad, a good father to my daughter, a good uncle to my niece, and a good man to my girlfriend Kay. And I'm still rocking at 45 in several different bands and all that good stuff. So there's my question and answer thing for a long time. Thanks.